everyone, welcome back to Tuckaway Pines, and today we just finished wave 3 of our seed starting for 2024. I didn't bring you guys along for wave 2 because it was just kind of a quick little spur of the moment planting. Kind of lost track of our little schedule a little bit. Some things came up, but don't worry, we're right on track now. We got everything all planted, up to date. You can maybe notice behind me things are a little different in the seed starting station. I took some time to kind of move things around a little bit. Took some of the mature starts and moved them over to the mature shelf and kind of opened up more room for the wave 3 in the nursery there for them. So I'm just going to kind of turn the camera around, show you what's what, the progress from week 1 and week 2, and then show you what we planted for week 3. And then I'm also wanting to kind of talk about some of the things that I've starting to observe and comparing them from last season to this season. So, all right, let me turn the camera around for you guys. Okay, so here is our seedlings. This is the little nursery, I like to call it. Over here, this tray are snapdragons. This is what we planted in week 1. You could see they are really starting to shoot up now. Took them a week or so to really pop up, but I like the germination rate. You can see that there are plenty of them in there. And then for week 2, I ended up just throwing in a couple extra flower seeds in here, so they'll be a little bit behind, but I just didn't like having that space all left open like that. So I just figured throwing in some more flower seeds couldn't hurt. Over on this tray, I have, these are week 2 flowers. I have some evening primrose and gazanias. The gazanias are doing really good back there. You can see they're nice and tall. And then up front, I got some evening primrose starting to poke up. I'll probably leave this dome on here for another day or two just to ensure the primroses are strong enough. And then I'll take the dome off, let them hang out for a little while, and once the primroses are good and big enough, I'll move them over to the mature shelf. Over here, this is week 3. These are some of our pepper plants. It's really exciting this week. Got to plant some of the good vegetables that we all love and enjoy to have. So these are obviously freshly planted, so no action in here just yet. If there was, I'd be blown away. But I'm really impressed with this growing mix that we have. I'll talk a little more about it and the results that we have. But yeah, everything's doing really good overall. And here I planted, for week 1, we did plant our celery, and you could see that sprouting up back there. And then for week 3, I had these 2 rows open, and I, again, didn't feel good about just leaving it open, so I planted some peas in there for week 3. So yeah, those will be sprouting up hopefully soon. And I know celery is a slower growing vegetable, so hopefully they all kind of line up with each other. And then I have these 2 front cells still available, and I'm thinking I'll fill those up for week 4. So definitely stay tuned for that. Try to put this dome back on. Leave the dome on for that because everything is still pretty young and starting off in there. Now I'm going to move down to the next shelf below. This middle tray here, these are mainly cosmos, so you can tell these took off like crazy. I'm actually might have to opt to moving them or maybe even raising the light a little bit because they are just shooting straight up. It's crazy. But actually, these guys sprouted the second day after planting. It's pretty impressive, pretty wild. I've never seen that before. I don't know if anyone else has ever came across anything like that, but these guys practically jumped out of their seeds, so I was really happy with that. But then this front half was all open, and for week 3, I just ended up planting some more flowers just to fill up the space. I know they'll be kind of delayed compared to the cosmos, but I just, yeah, I just needed to utilize that space somehow. But then we'll move over here, and these are all week 3 plantings. A lot of them are just peppers, a lot of hot peppers primarily. Tabasco, I have some cayenne, Tam jalapenos, some Nummix, Joe Parker peppers, and there's even a Big Jim chili pepper in here too. And I have these in these little pots because these will be put in containers, and then the peppers that were up on the tray over here, these will be going in either a raised bed or in the main crop garden. So I tried to have that all kind of mapped out and make it easier for planting purposes as well. So that's why those are planted in that. And then, let's see, I didn't go over here, did I? This last tray over here is tomatoes. Don't read that, that's misleading. The true name is on this side. These are all tomatoes. Plenty different varieties. I have 2 of certain types and then 1 of another type. Because last year we planted just so many tomatoes, it kind of overgrew the garden. And, yeah, it got a little crazy. So we're trying to cut back this year and really limit on how many types of tomatoes we're growing and just how many of each sort. But, yeah, these are definitely tomatoes. I just like to reuse my little signs each year. But, we'll move down here. And then these trays are a little mixture of week 1, week 2, and week 3. This savory here, I have 2 pots of savory. These are week 3. I just planted these. So nothing fun going on quite yet, but hopefully soon. But, and then the thyme and the sweet marjoram, those are week 2 plantings. So those are actually sprouting up pretty nicely, I have to say myself. Let them get a little bit bigger, and then I'll probably move them over to the mature shelf. But with all these individual pots like this, even with the peppers up there, I wrapped them with the saran wrap just to kind of create that dome effect, that little greenhouse effect, just to get that humidity and moisture locked in there. So, but since these are sprouted and a little more mature, I took the plastic off so they can just kind of breathe and start growing. And then over here in this tray, I have 2 pots of St. John's wort. I just planted these. These are week 3, so nothing fun yet. But back here is the rosemary. That is week 2. I think I have 1 little rosemary sprout coming up in here. It's kind of hard to see. And then there's 1 in that one as well. So I'll leave the plastic on just a little longer. Hopefully I can get a couple more sprouts, and then I'll take the plastic off. And then back there is dark green Italian parsley. I have both back pots are the same. Those are week 1 plantings. I haven't really noticed much action coming from those, so really don't know. I'm just going to kind of keep them back there on idle and just hope for the best. But yeah, I did plant a different variety of parsley, and that sprouted off really nicely. I'll actually show you guys that here. It's over on this side. Here's the Giant of Italy parsley, and this is doing actually really, really good. Came in nicely. I did the same thing, put the plastic over them, and then once they really sprouted, I took it off, and then I moved them over here. And this is week 1, and then that English lavender in the back, that is also week 1. Both doing phenomenal. They sprouted kind of right away, maybe within that first week, first few days or so, which I was impressed, especially with the lavender. I know that can be sort of tricky for some people, and I personally haven't grown it before, so I don't know, I'm happy. And then this tray, I know everything is turned around, but these are more flowers. I got bachelor buttons, some 4 o'clocks, and I can't remember what these are. Oh, morning glories, actually. So I had the tray rotated because they were all kind of leaning one way, so I just turned the tray around so they can kind of bend back towards the light. But these are week 2 plantings, and they are doing really, really nicely. I'm really happy. Those morning glories in the back, they shot straight up, which is kind of exciting. And even these buttons, spatula buttons, are doing pretty good too. But that's pretty much it as far as these young seedlings. These actually, on that note, might end up being moved over to the mature shelf since they are looking pretty good, pretty mature. I'll probably give them one more day just to be safe. But yeah, I'll probably end up moving them over to the other shelf, especially with the next wave of planting coming up. So that'll give me some more room and stuff. But onto the mature shelf. It's pretty exciting here. Week 1, we planted some onions. And they're doing pretty good. I took the domes off of them and I ended up moving them over here. And I call this the mature shelf because there is no heat mats. And this just is kind of where I just have my more mature plants placed. And the other shelf has my heat mats. I can adjust the lights and stuff like that, so I'm able to really help the start of the growth of the plant. So that is pretty much it as far as week 3, and you guys got to see the progress from week 2 and week 1. It's really exciting. I'm really, really happy with how everything is turning out. I think just really compared to last year, it is a total night and day transformation. I really observed what I was doing, took notes, really looked into more about seed starting and stuff, just kind of educated myself more about it, but definitely really observed what I was doing and changed things up a little bit. And I really think even those minor tweaks have really made a big difference so far in the growing season. We're about a month in, just about a month in, and I'm really impressed with how everything's going. I feel like I have better results, and you guys can definitely go back and check out, last year's growing. I kind of did the same setup where I did weekly plantings. It's just easier for me to manage, especially with the volume of everything we want to grow, and on top of working and everything else, kind of need to balance that out. So yeah, definitely check that out because you'll definitely see just the differences and just how everything is growing, how I have things set up, and just how I'm operating. My systems are a little more fine-tuned, I feel like, and it's not perfect. By no means it is perfect, but it's definitely an improvement, especially when we compare to last year. So really happy. Like I said, as far as adjustments go, I had a leggy problem last year, so this year I took my grow lights. I kept the same lights, I just added the chain so I can adjust them as they grow. And I'm monitoring the heat mats a little better because I didn't want any molding issues or anything like that. Same with watering. I'm really on top of the watering. Well, I guess I'm more laxed about the watering, I should say. I have a tendency to overwater, so I'm kind of trying to lean back from that, and which kind of is a factor toward the more molding issue as well. And then I also got a fan. So that's kind of neat because that'll help strengthen the little guys up and kind of imitate the wind, and that should also help with any molding or pest issues and things like that too. So yeah, I'm just really trying to take these notes, really trying to observe everything and comparing things, because that's a big thing, trying to live this lifestyle, and nothing's going to work out right away, right off the bat. Sometimes it might, but sometimes it might not, and it's not to give up. You just need to make those changes, see what's going on, and how you can fix it. So, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. And then I also looked into more of what a seed needs to start growing in, like as far as the mediums go. And I did get a Pro Mix. You could kind of go back to week 1 of this year. Sorry, the heater again. You could go back, I'll link it for you guys. You can go back to week 1 for this year for the seed starting. I kind of go through all the materials and supplies that I use, that I'm going to be using this season as far as seed starting goes. And I got this Pro Mix, and I made sure to read all the ingredients and all the labels and stuff like that, and it was probably the best option that I could find at the time in the store for starting seeds. I did get some other stuff, that way I can mix my own when I do run out of this Pro Mix, but so far it's really good. Really, I'm really impressed with it. I can't remember exactly what I used last year offhand. I'd have to go back and check to be certain. I think it was another type of Pro Mix, but this stuff, for some reason, it's just really nice. It's fine, it's soft, it has all the stuff you need in it already, so you don't need to add anything really. The only like complaint I guess I'd say I'd have is that sometimes, like when I was filling my pots or my cells here, I would notice like a little piece of twig or a little stick or like a baby piece of wood chip or something, and things like that are a little too coarse for a little seedling to sprout up or a little root to sprout down and into the soil. So if you do get something like that, definitely make sure all the clumps are breaking up, and kind of like sift it out and feel it out for any big chunks like that that can't be broken down. So that's my only issue with that, but I feel like that's kind of standard with most mixes. It's kind of hard to, you know, filter all the stuff out. But otherwise, yeah, I'm really happy with it. So far, so good this year. So yeah, if anyone is really trying to maybe get their thumb a little more greener, or maybe even thinking about starting growing indoors and then, you know, growing a garden outside, starting your seeds indoors and whatnot, or having just troubleshooting your growing problems, definitely just take the time to observe everything. Take your notes. I mean, it does help to kind of see what other people do, do the kind of research on things like that, because plants are, you know, they're their own living thing. They have certain requirements too, and to know about that will help us better grow them and take care of them. So, but anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling before I just keep rambling. But again, I hope you guys really enjoyed watching this. Thank you for taking the time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I truly hope that everyone else's growing season is starting off just as productive and as promising as ours. And if not, definitely make those tweaks, take those notes, and make those observations. So until next time, you guys, thank you again for watching. Bye.